Welcome to Tebi Talks. I'm Stephen Gwanya Simon with you for biology, advanced level biology. Let's look at another chemical of life we are calling carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. What are carbohydrates? We call them organic nutrients, so we shall continue to that side. And these are organic nutrients. Made up of, they are made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms. Oxygen atoms only. With a general formula, of CH2Y. So this is our general formula for the carbohydrates. As foods, they are the main source of carbon fixed by plants in photosynthesis. So if we recall rightly the carbon cycle, carbon dioxide that is in the atmosphere gets into plants and is fixed in this process of photosynthesis to create these complex organic nutrients. Let's first look at the sources of carbohydrates in the genome. Sources of carbohydrates. Can say that carbohydrates are manufactured by autotrophs. Autotrophs, like there are very many autotrophs. We have green plants as carbohydrates, as the autotrophs, and algae. Algae does manufacture these carbohydrates. We have already said here, what do they use? Of course, these use carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide gas from the atmosphere. During and the water. So you see that we can only get them from this. Nevertheless, when heterotrophs like a man eat these carbohydrates, they incorporate them. They incorporate them in their tissues. As glycogen, but to a less extent. We shall see in our further discussions that organisms that feed on animal bodies, heterotrophs, get less carbon and so have less energy. They spend less energy because the energy they consume is less. Let's look at the classes of these carbohydrates. What are the classes of carbohydrates? What are the classes of carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are grouped into three main categories. So there are three main categories of carbohydrates. One, monosaccharides. Two, oligosaccharides. And three, polysaccharides. So what are these categories? And can we get some examples of them? Yes. Let's begin with the expanding the monosaccharides, just a definition of them. Then we shall settle on them as a main group. Monosaccharides as the word goes, mono is standing in for single, and the saccharide is standing in for sugar. So meaning monosaccharides, these are carbohydrates made up of a single sugar unit. So take examples more such as the glucose we used to. Shall come back to the structures of these molecules. Then disaccharides. Disaccharides. These biological words sometimes communicate. They communicate directly, whether they're in Greek or Latin. Di stands in for two. And of course we have said this one is standing in for sugar. Meaning disaccharides are carbohydrates made up of two sugar units linked together. We shall see which bond links the monosaccharides to create disaccharides. So all in all, disaccharides are made up of now two monosaccharides. Then you can look at polysaccharides. Polysaccharides, words carry their meaning. Poly standing in for many. Of course, I have said this one is standing in for sugar. So meaning polysaccharides are carbohydrates consisting of more, let's say even many, of many sugar units linked together. Very many sugar units linked together. So we shall find several polysaccharides. So in our subsequent, we are going to discuss each of the category of carbohydrates to go into deep, because there is a practical basis behind monosaccharides, practical basis behind disaccharides, even some practical basis behind polysaccharides. That will be in our subsequent sessions.